Endwalker 6.55. The end? Question mark? When one door closes. One of my clerks has just been arrived with a message here. Students will listen and request your presence in Charlie at your earliest convenience. As I am to your friends, I had hoped that I might be of service, but as you length they require. No pressing business, pray take your way to the BakaSurvivor Annex. I want to Jinko wait your arrival. The mission will continue to showing Azaya the city, notable landmarks to the people's lives. There's so much and more for her to see. Sorry, I just like ran. So for now, my friend, look forward to the day we set forth another adventure together. I need to disband that party. I don't think there's going to be another dungeon. Think is the keyword. I've been wrong before. God, so good. No, I'm still laughing. Before we went live, we watched a couple Major Pain clips. God, that shit is funny. Major Pain is built different comedy. All right. So we have... I mean, we finished all the Void stuff. It's going to be interesting that we're not going into... into the 13th for Dawn Trail. So that's... that's a thing. Sorry, I almost died on choking on rice. Stripes. I've never seen it. Welcome to... But then again, I've never seen... What is it? Full Metal Jackie? Is that one of the popular? That's one of the popular ones, right? Like one of the most popular. Welcome to... Received our message. Here will fetch Crown Graha. I'm telling you, like military parody movies are actually just peak humor. They can get away with so much. Like Zeramus, I think it fell flat, honestly. I think that 6.5 just fell flat. I think that it favored the Final Fantasy IV homage over the organic storytelling, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain. It's just short notice. Forgive us for sending you so soon after your trials into the void. Say nothing of your girly battle against the 12. This is a 3-month gap between these as well. And actually the ones who require your presence, but Aaron Volley stopped by recently, you see, and asked us to reach out to you on his behalf. Pretty Ghostbusters. Oh, wow. Been with Goldie Hawn is actually really funny. Oh, it sounds fun. You're surprised as we are, given that we're supposed to be away for a long expedition. Hi, Graha. Must have instead of changing his plans. Only told me that someone from Kip wishes to meet. He also mentioned there would be tending to business in the stadium. Shall we look for him there? Wow. I'm actually dying because of rice going down the wrong hole. Ugh. Okay. No! Can't actually jump over that. But if you've been through 4 and the weakness story is 14 should be good without outside reference. Exactly. Because it feels like Zero reached like apotheosis self-actualization, and I said this in 6.5's VOD, right? Like she reached apotheosis self-actualization, it just felt like a different character entirely, which is supposed to mirror Cecil Harvey is that Force main character. Cecil Harvey's transition from Dark Knight into Paladin. It would have made a bit more sense if she was not Bloodborne, like if she was a Dark Knight. Sure, you can keep the whole fight with, what's his face? I can't remember the knight's name. I always forget it. But, like, having it have her instead of being a Reaper, because that was supposed to be a Xenos parallel. Going from DPS to tank, right, Paladin? Yes, you can look at it as a full circle character arc, right? Like, hey, she's back to Paladin. And I noted that. It just feels like it didn't land. But to be fair, there's so much that they had to tie up in these post patches. These post patches could have gone on through like 7, 8 in my opinion. Like, it's not, I'm not saying it's bad, right? It's just like it didn't hit those notes. It felt like it kind of floundered on the finish line. Banui.
Apologies for the wait. I hope I haven't called you away from anything important. I chanced upon some commissioned items at my destination. so I thought I might deliver them.
Where did you go, if I may ask?
The New World. Tural.
My God.
You went to Tural? Then the person who you wish to introduce.
This is it? All that set up for the 13th. This is it? Okay, like reasonably, there's no way they could have fit the 13th plot line into 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, and then have set up for 6-4, 6-5 in a Dawn Trail. They could not have done that. No way. Absolutely not. Like, they already felt like they... I don't mean like they rushed. Like, it felt like a blitzed ending. Like, this is it? I mean, obviously at the end of 6.5, we got the whole letter thing of like, yeah, hey, Newer World, you know, grandfather's letter, right? That's all the context we're getting. Like, just, oh, by the way, this is a thing? A letter and... Really?
Aye, she hails from there. I present to you...
Where's Cat Mommy?
But it seems you've lost her.
Got him.
Did she wander off?
We have to go hide and seek with Cat Mommy. Oh, never mind, she's there.
Sorry. It's just so different here. I can't help but want to explore.
Of course she's a warrior. That's the one.
Well, while you were exploring, your candidate came to us. This is her. The adventurer you crossed the seas to meet.
This came out
Oh,
after
you
Dawn
are
Trail's trailer, right?
It's plain she's no ordinary woman. I'm Uklamat, claimant to the throne of Tulihuela.
Nah, I'm cool being a Mikote still. Nah, I'm good.
Tulihuela.
It's Tural's governing nation. The capital bears the same name.
I'll get to the point. I want you to come with me to my homeland.
Is that like Ohio? There's like states, right? With like actual like the state name as the town. So you have or New York is the better one, right? It's like New York, the city of New York inside the state of New York.
Given the magnitude of the request, perhaps you should explain why you're making it?
Probably.
Of course.
All the furries are over this. All of them.
Soon, an event of great import will be held in Tural. The right of succession, taking the form of a contest. It will determine who next ascends the throne. As daughter to its present keeper, I will participate. And I have every intention of winning.
Okay, sure. Tournament
I
arc.
was searching for champions to join me when Erenville told me about you. A mighty
New York State was
warrior
named
who
after this.
knows
Fair
no
enough.
fear, who sweeps aside terrible fiends as if they were reeds, who flew to the edge of existence and saved our star.
Yeah, fair enough. That would be a little bit of an unfair
She
advantage,
asked who
though.
Eorzea's greatest hero was. And so I told her. Much more elegantly, I might add.
Now you know why. You'll come to Tural, yes?
Tournament arc?
Wait.
Tournament arc?
Let's all just slow down. Wuklamat, was it? You claim to be of the royal family, but is it not the Mamulja who rule in Tural?
Tulihuela is a nation of many peoples. Not only the Mamulsha, as some across the seas are quick to assume.
Team
That
deathmatch?
said, its present ruler is a Mamulsha, and one blessed with two heads besides.
Wait, so we're fighting the... Okay, as Viper in the trailer, we're fighting the ruler of the new... okay, wow, that's a development.
He's also my father. Not by blood, obviously, but he raised me as his own, and that's what matters.
Uh-huh. Right, yeah, that's fine.
So that is the way of it. My apologies if I was indelicate.
Aw, sad Tia.
Hardly. I know little about your land, and nothing about your parentage. But in my eagerness, I've gotten ahead of myself. I can't expect you to agree on the spot when we've only just met.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Just know, though, that if it's adventure you seek, you could do far worse than come with me.
Right.
Now, this is only a rumor. But apparently, the contest will involve the fabled city of gold and the legendary beast, Valiarmanda.
Valiarmanda. Is that a 9 reference? I know 9. It's going to be a very 9-heavy expansion.
Tell me that doesn't pique your interest.
Okay. No, there's definitely some conversations happening about Dawn Trail that I don't have. Yeah. Huh.
So the tales have reached even these shores. Can't help but
It's a
feel
6
proud.
reference. Huh. Weird.
I advise you not to put much store by these rumors. Golden cities are not but a dreamer's fancy.
Says the dreamer who was bent on finding one when he was a child. Just because you failed doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Got him. Let's say from experience.
Tuliolal and the Golden City. Just like in the letter to Grandfather.
In 6, it was called Tree Talk in the game. Is it going to be a blend of 6 and 9?
Regardless of what the contest may entail, it'll be no simple thing. If I'm to triumph, I'll need capable and dependable companions.
It feels like such a tone shift from Endwalker.
So let's go on a hunt together. There's no better way to get acquainted.
The animators really worked hard on her animations, I can tell. She's incredibly expressive. Oh, hi, Tia. The game is afoot. There's an imposter among us. Octopus game. Oh, whoa. Or, you know, her VA is doing really great work, too. Not only Terrell, but the whole city besides. This is stuff of grand adventures, my friend. I want to say you should hastily accept this invitation. Mine, there's still a great deal we do not know. Once again, to rectify that first beginning acquainted with our visitor in the manner she suggests. Combat. Trial. That might be a suitable location for the hunt, however. I was in the guild earlier, I learned a petition from our researchers on the Isle of Han. They're not long ago uncalled some unruly fauna, of course, but according to some reports, other ordinarily docile fauna have grown savage. Believe that they have been unsettled by some man or predator, and the researchers are seeking assistance to identify it and dispatching it. As your hunt, perhaps you might answer this petition. I wasn't far, we'd be happy for those in need. Works for me. So you know, I've honed my skills against some of the fiercest beasts in Tyrol. Creatures would be able to put up a proper fight, or it'll be end before his chance to get acquainted. I think the issue that I'm going to run into with 14 is the invert. It's kind of the like the Skyrim issue where all of these prophecies, all of these events seem to unfold almost perfectly. Very prophecy heavy, very coincident heavy, right? Where Morrowind played on this. Are you the Nerevarine because you are Nerevar incarnate, or because you just happen to tick enough boxes on the checkoff sheet, right? In the end, it really definitely doesn't matter. I know people say it's a paradox. At the end of the day, you are someone that is filling the role of the Nerevarine. So, I mean, that's a commentary on prophecy, which Skyrim did a complete 180 on that, really. Having an Elder Scroll in the exact spot in Blackreach in the exact time that you're needed, being the Dragonborn, by Skyrim Retconia, right? I think that's going to be 14's issue, especially going forward after Endwalker, is even if they're wanting to reboot, say like ARR 2.0, right? There's already so many instances of, and even Arianja says it in the Endwalker trailer, right? That you have the even though it's for a brief respite, you know, the star's fate kind of is in the balance, something like that, right? I think that because there's so much that just kept happening, right? You had End of the Dragon Song War, you into some of the events of Stormblood and overthrowing Xenos's both of his fronts, going into Graha pulling you at the exact point in time to deal with the first, going into Endwalker where the final days are restarted. Like, there's so much, and then going into Endwalker Post where you yet again have this, hey, this coincidentally is happening right now, this war, this crusade from the 13th. Yeah, you should probably deal with that. It's been one thing after another. And so I kind of see how Dawn Trail, at least as it's presented so far, is jarring. Apologies, must see some preparations. Bring go. Thea will join you as soon as possible. I'm not going to go be as bold as people on Final Fantasy's official forums and say the game's dead. No, I think far from it. I think that it's definitely a tone shift. Being guild ship business would be simple enough to secure a vessel. I don't know, man. Like, that's such a weird one to me. I can see both sides of it. Like, I can look at that and just, like, see the multiple subjectivities of this. Well, and that's the thing, is we might actually enter another Stormblood. Instead of ARR 2.0, it might be Stormblood 2.0, which is fine. Like, Stormblood had some redeeming qualities. It just depends how they write it. And if they're gonna make it Final Fantasy 14 or Final Fantasy 9-2, right? Kind of like how Final Fantasy 4-2 or Final Fantasy 4 Love Letter was post, right? Not. It's just, I don't know. Like, that's so interesting. Obviously, doing these in quick successions, as I've said in the past, has some consequences. Which you should definitely be, you know, I'm wanting to just finish this at this point. I got other projects I want to work on. But, like, I'm very curious to see the pacing of Dawn Trail in comparison to bursting through 10 years of content. So customs play in sequence. Yes, that's fine. 660. I don't think I have a 660 gear set. This is going to be a little rough. It is such a cool locale, though. I love this island.
From here, we must walk.
So much ice. It rivals even Yogg-Tural.
I think her axe is very dragon-like, and I kind of like it.
Ooh, a white bear. I wonder what it tastes like.
Remember, we're here to deal with creatures that have been deemed an unacceptable danger. Do not attack anything else unprovoked.
That's the one.
I know. I know. So this is the isle where ether literally bursts forth.
Totally different because we have so much experience seeing it in all these mythical things that originated.
The Isle of Ham. The geysers lie deep inland, however.
And dealt with more Alagana and especially ancient issues. A very zoomed out view of all these things, making them seem less coincidental. This ancient thing. But I could see. I could see that.
You really are knowledgeable. Kona told me nothing about this place.
We are kind of the nexus for like strange things.
I doubt your brother managed to come out this way. He's like to have toured facilities like Labyrinthos, however.
The great big cavern under the city. It's amazing that they could make a sky down there complete with a sun.
This brother of yours, he has been to Sharlayan.
He has. Kona's my second older brother, and until recently, he was a student in this city. He went on and on about technological amusements. It made me want to come here too one day. And so
have a good one.
I think I understood something of how he felt when I set foot in his beloved studium.
He went to the studio? Your brother must be quite a scholar. But I wonder, like you, he'd be royalty, yes? With such a personage coming to Sharlayan to receive an education would surely have caused a stir, yet I recall nothing of the sort.
He consulted with the head of the studium beforehand, that his identity might remain secret.
Huh.
Being Mikote, he had no trouble blending in. He's adopted like me, you see.
Got him.
One time, though, he almost let it slip to a professor. It was all he could do to parry the barrage of questions.
Having no shortage of questions myself, I can imagine.
Ask
No,
whatever
they
you
definitely
like.
made her very
I don't mind.
endearing.
But I maintain, hunting together is the best way to get to know someone.
The researchers should be up ahead. Let's find them and learn what we can. The researchers should be just ahead. There. The building to the northeast.
Let me in!
So ordinarily harmless creatures have grown savage.
Don't know what's got them riled up, but I'll take down any that thinks to try me. Right. Let's
Oh, these are
hunt our
baby
fill.
poles. Yeah, it feels weird doing big boy pulls and coming back to this.
Look! Someone's in trouble.
Pupper.
Yeah. Taste
I saw
my
that.
axe.
Saw that
These animals are usually so
warrior.
docile.
That warrior glap closer, saw that. NPC dungeon, but looks AI does a lot of things AI hasn't up to this point, like doing OAs and trash pulls. That's actually really interesting. The adventure saved our Star Wars under better circumstances, could do correct transportation, transported, and suddenly found myself surrounded. With him across the chasm, once docile animals going to turn aggressive. My colleague can tell you more. Here's just a moment. I can finish checking our equipment.
You really are famous.
So it's a really tweaked and improved
And
AI
for good
then.
reason, as you'll soon see for yourself.
Quite an interesting contraption you've got here.
Is that our petitioner? Let's go and have a chat.
I'm just answer my petition. I presume we're most fortunate to have one of your considerable skill in IDES. Creature found has been sighted on the island in recent days and believe its presence has affected local fauna. Animals beyond this gate are worst effective we've encountered thus far, and we dare not go back. Ask about any threats that you find and search traces of the beast responsible for all this. Or anything else, we would be most grateful if you would share it with us.
I'll handle this.
Not the hornbill.
Hold still.
What the hell was that?
Is that all? Come on, let's pick up the creature's trail.
Warrior doesn't have that in their kit. Sharp
These
talons.
claw marks. I've seen their like before.
I don't think the new warrior skill is at least one of them is that's gonna get a like passage of arms kind of
Starting to
thing.
Feel like a proper hunt.
Unless that is the new skill. I don't know. I haven't done the benchmark. Like I've played 90 warrior for a couple 100 hours. That's not in the kit as far as I know. Signs of your struggle.
Feathers. But did they belong to the predator or the prey?
So, how do you prefer our prey? Roasted or raw?
You presume it's even safe to eat?
Got him. Okay, looking at Graha's AI. I love it. I'm saying, fresh leavings, let your nostrils or be something like a special
Still
sky.
fresh. Whatever this beast, it cannot be far.
Do you suppose they're upset we disturbed their home?
Probably.
Who knows? But if they're spoiling for a fight, then they've got one.
Let's head back and report what we found.
Maybe Dawn Trail is an expansion about healing trauma and moving past stuff. The funny New Vegas dead money line, letting go, right? Maybe that's going to be the theme. I don't know much about Nine's isms, though. I'll bug out. What happened? We haven't still got the job action trailer yet. That should be dropping pretty soon, though, after this. But there's not a quest icon. What? What? I got, okay, exit the area. Quick flag. Bird. Oh hey, look, it's Einhander.
Wings and razor sharp talons. Worthy prey.
Bird. Oh, it's a giant fucking oh.
Ah! What is that thing?
What is it's the you see them all the time in Costa del Sol. Just a giant one of those. Colibri. Amazing. It's a giant colibri. Yeah. That is in fact, a giant colibri. Okay.
It's heading towards the falls.
I'll stay with the researchers. The creature, I leave to you.
Come, walk.
Excuse me, sorry. No, she's shocked. She shook it. Just parroting it back. It's not actual speech. I didn't think Colibri got dragon wings, though. That's interesting. They're like Rathalos wings.
Just so we're clear, I wasn't startled by the beast earlier. It caught me by surprise, that's all.
Forgive me, but I failed to see a difference.
I'm getting hungry. Let's be done with this so we can eat.
Classic warrior. I love it.
Think you're clever, huh? I'll rip off that beak and roast you on a spit!
Yeah, those are definitely some strange membrane wings. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Captain.
Talk all you like, Bird. I'm going to have the last laugh. Oh, I'm going to enjoy sinking my teeth into you.
Yeah, it's just a giant bird.
Ah, shut up already, you blasted bird!
My tank buster. When you force her to off tank, hell yeah.
Look out! I've never seen such an enormous colibri.
Not sticky spit. No.
Not good. Quickly, gather together.
Been pretty counterintuitive. Do we just now have Stunbreaker? This is a okay, it's a alternative usage for home gang.
Steady now.
Wow, I think that the game's gonna be harder. Like, the game's gonna be really hard coming Dawn Trail.
Spread out, everyone!
Spread out, everyone, he says. They stand close together.
You pay for that.
Oh, KTs are back to stay. It's fine, I'm tank. I can live this.
Thank you.
Long ass
Just getting
attack.
started.
It's threes. I'm kind of glad that they brought back these fights, right? Like, oh, Shatter the Wings of the Colibri, right? Because we saw that in, like, Heaven's Ward, right? We saw that in, like, what was it, the 53 dungeon, right? We haven't really seen that come back. I'll take that Primal Rend. That's kind of hot.
Nothing to it. We have you now, you loudmouth bastard!
Throw everything you have at it.
feel like grass growing on it too, which is interesting. We're probably gonna see a lot more of those.
And I had barely limbered up.
It was a terrible foe, but no match for your axe.
Only to be expected. You were pretty impressive yourselves. I was right to invite you on a hunt.
Uh-oh. Bird is back.
But what a curious bird that was. Though we have similar in Tural, they don't grow so big or use such dirty tricks.
Dirty tricks? Dirty tricks?
Aye, dirty and despicable. Otherwise, I could have...
Bird. Bird EX. Cute. Party finder.
Leave this to me.
Oh, whoa? Kryl just paints KYS. It's the Shenpai Joe-Cat meme. LB3 KYS bird.
Kryl.
I am terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
Yes, all Lalafels are war criminals.
She arrived as I was seeing the researchers to safety. It was all I could do to keep up with her after I explained what happened.
A 14th friend. You're also coming in at the, like, literal last paragraphs of a 10-year story going into the next expansion.
So this is what you meant by seeing to preparations?
Like, there is so much to even get people caught up at this point.
After hearing of the contest, I thought how wonderful it would be to join you.
Oh, she has the earring on.
In coming here, I wanted to demonstrate my skill at arms to Wuklamut. Alas, it seems I missed most of the action.
That was amazing! The piece didn't stand a chance!
I'm glad to have been of service.
May I ask what inspired this change?
You will recall the time you descended to the ethereal sea in search of Heidelin.
Oh, she had to stay back.
Recognizing that my skills were inadequate, I chose to provide support from afar.
I'm just a YouTube. No,
rather
you're
than
all good,
join
and I
you.
appreciate you coming on out. No, that's just there's so much in a 10-year story to catch up
when
on.
You set forth for Ultima Thule. How it pained me to stay behind again and again.
It's like coming in Return of the
That's
King. You're
what
like, who are
inspired
half
this
these people?
change. Ever since the final days were averted, I've used every spare moment to hone my craft. As you all have adapted your methods to suit the circumstances, I started by considering how I might best contribute.
I can't help but not see Professor Egad's paintbrush from Super Mario Sunshine.
And after much deliberation, I arrived at my answer.
You know, I'm actually a little sad they never continue with the Egad series, right? We got Blood, we got the paintbrush, we got the vacuum, and Egad himself in Luigi's Mansion, but we never really got more in the mainline Mario games, did we? Banui. I love it. It's so weird.
With the esoteric art passed down by the legendary Archon realm, Pictomancy.
Yeah,
As
just
I
40
recall,
years of lore.
You have embraced versatility to effectively complement a certain someone's style. What I do is much the same. Like you, I don't want to be left behind.
Indeed.
Lexi, I'm
must
sure that's a
say,
Final Fantasy
you
reference. I have
appear
no
to be
idea.
especially keen on being involved in the ritual of succession. Is there any particular reason?
Yes, there is. This letter from Tuli Yolal. It was addressed to my grandfather Galuf and turned up among the students' archives. The ink was faded, so I couldn't fully make out the sender's name. Galul, someone.
Jaja. Galul Jaja. That's my father, the Dawn servant. What does the letter say?
While much of it isn't legible, it appears to be a request to investigate the Golden City.
A request to investigate the Golden City? From the Dawn servant himself?
Well, well. Seems it may be more than a rumor after all.
Being a member of the royal family, it was my hope that you could confirm the authenticity of this letter.
I can say for a fact that my father didn't write this.
Nice.
Given how culturally diverse Tuli Yolal is, it was decided some time ago that a common language was needed.
Right, it makes
But
sense.
instead of elevating an existing tongue and its speakers above all others, we looked to those widely spoken overseas and created an altogether new one. The similarities to your common tongue also make it quite easy to communicate in these situations, no? This letter, however, is entirely in Eorzean. If Father had written this, he would have been in Turali. And what's more, it bears a wax seal. We don't bother with them.
Yeah, fair enough.
So the letter is fraudulent, then?
Or someone wrote it on their behalf.
Oh, I didn't mean to say that. My father's signature is genuine, as far as I can tell, so perhaps he simply dictated it.
Yeah. Entirely possible.
I see. Oh, thank you for the confirmation. It seems my grandfather indeed had dealings with Tuli Yolal.
I think that's a
I
leap.
can't help but be curious as to what exactly he was doing there. In order to help us decide on a course of action, would you mind if I asked you some questions about your home?
By all means. After all, learning about one another was the purpose of this hunt. We can talk while feasting on this fellow. I, for one, am starving.
Bird would probably taste really... He'd probably be, like, very low fat on that, honestly. Really lean, actually. Maybe a little gamey.
We're eating that.
We'll make it into a burger for you. Come on, Graha. We got this. You can get... And we ate, and the bird was eaten. That's why research safe task is complete. This leaves a matter of the colibri meat. Better or worse, there's only one place we can take it here in Charlotte, the last stand. And let's see what I can cook up for us. Chimkin burger. Yes. Make a McChicken. Like, I'm excited to see where it goes. I am. I'm excited to see where exactly Dawn Trail is going to go. Like, I mean, call it sunk cost fallacy, call it just being curious. I want to know what they do. I want to know how they do it. I want to know why they do it. What they're going to bring up, especially how they handle a power down, quote unquote, or at the very least a alleged power down period, because we, you know, literally dealt with, you know, the Endsinger. We literally dealt with the Void Invasion with Golbez, right? And technically a shard of Zodiark. So it's like, where do we go from here in terms of power? It's been pretty linear, pretty upwards trending. Gonna get you. Got this bird. Bird meat from the hunt. You say leave it to me. I have just the recipe. New dish recently. I learned from sailors. And for you lot, it's on the house. Much as you'd like to hear. Those are just actual steaks.
Come. Let's enjoy the bounty of our first
That's
outing together.
actually just steak. Tomahawk steaks.
I'd heard that Charlayan cuisine was terrible, but this is fantastic.
Just pass her some Archon loaf. Oh, that curry, no!
What is this? Oh, it smells spicy.
Do not eat that. You will actually just die.
Oh, come now. Since when did you become so soft?
Oh
It's not
no!
like we don't have spicy food in Tural too.
It's come full circle. Oh no! Because Ray came overseas from Radz-at-Han. Oh no! Oh, she's gonna die. Yep. Instant regret.
According to Dickon, intensely hot dishes have become popular in Radz-at-Han after a traveler ordered a curry with several times the usual amount of spice.
Yep, that is the I have made a mistake face.
So
Oh,
he
dear
started
God.
offering the same in order to please the growing Harnish population here in Sharlayan.
Fucking 911 sauce. 911 spice. Yep, dead.
It's nothing I can't handle.
She needs some milk. Proceeds to just eat the tomahawk steaks to wash it down.
Your boorish manners reflect poorly on the both of us. I wish you would consider your station.
Boorish, that's a word.
I swear, sometimes it feels like you open your mouth only to criticize.
Probably. Actually, you see, you dip the tomahawk steak in the curry. See, then you get both at once, right? It's like if I had some gravy and I had some tomahawk steak, I would just dip the steak in the gravy. Not even tomahawk steaks. I would dip the steak in the gravy. Kizuna, no. Kizuna Ai is way bigger than I am. That is, there is
Would I
no
be
relation
correct
there.
in assuming you've known each other for a long time?
Kizuna Ai was kind of the post-Vocaloid start of kind of like virtual diva, VTubing, that kind of thing. Just ate that whole steak.
Thick as thieves since we were little.
I beg to differ. She is a long-standing acquaintance. Nothing more.
Got him.
I see. I see.
All this time you were from Tural. Oh, would that I had known sooner. There's so much I'd like to ask.
That's the reason.
You and everyone else. I've kept it quiet so as to avoid the endless interrogations.
Was he the brother?
Well, if he's going to be a miser,
No.
I'll be happy to tell you about our homeland instead.
Ate all of those steaks. Just gone.
Since ancient times, many peoples have called Tural home.
Thank you much. Thank you for the
They've
sub
been
as well.
fighting
Appreciate
each other
that.
for nearly as long.
Uh-huh.
The fighting finally stopped some 80 years ago, when the reigning Dawn Servant unified the disparate communities and founded a new nation.
And that's how Tuliolal came to be.
Since then, we've enjoyed an era of uninterrupted peace. But my father is getting old, and he wishes to relinquish the throne to a worthy successor. One who can preserve
those
his
Mikote.
legacy. Including myself, there are 4 claimants to the throne. But while we all have the right to participate, one among us cannot be allowed to rule.
Oh no. What a twist.
A man who is too ambitious by half. Word of the Garlean Empire's collapse has reached Tural. While most are simply relieved, he sees weakness to exploit and would lead our armies across the seas on a campaign of conquest.
Yeah, no, I totally get the Twitch ad situation. It's actually why I upload them to YouTube as well, to the Kizunakip TV channel. That way if people want to, get the story or something like this, or want to watch them without ads, there is also that avenue. But I totally get it. It is good to see you.
After everything my father has done to give us peace, he would drag us back into war.
Character towards all of this. Reasonably, we're just kind of an
Can't
outsider to
allow
this.
it. No matter what, I must win this contest.
More school listening.
I understand your reasons. But this being an event that will dictate the course of your nation's future, is it appropriate for outsiders like us to be involved?
Right. That's a fair question, actually.
It's more than appropriate. The Dawn Servant himself expressly encourages it. The ruler of Tural must navigate the intricacies of myriad cultures, and there's no better way to prove oneself qualified to do so than to work with foreign allies. That's why I sought you out. Through our hunt, I've confirmed that you're a warrior of considerable skill, but more importantly, one of good character as well.
You were thinking that it's an experiment for the guy who wants to go to war with Garlemald? I could see that. That could hold water.
So I ask you, will you lend me your strength and help me win the throne of Tulihualal?
Yeah, if they're trying to stop this brother, this brother they're talking about from ruling, because he's being ambitious and wants to drag them into another conflict.
You don't need to decide right this moment.
Which is a fair thing, actually.
But I will need you if I'm to triumph over the competition. I'll stay here as long as I can while waiting for your answer.
In that case, allow us to prepare a room for you at the Baldessian Annex.
That's very kind of you.
Steak. I do want some steak.
Oh, and one more thing. Once we finish eating, would you mind if I took the rest of the meat?
Got him. Funny cat likes meat, haha, slapstick comedy. There you go. God. Oh, this game is built different. Look, Lamont has makings of a ruler I could not say, but I know that she deeply cares for her nation and her people. Whether you should help her, though, it's up to you and you alone to decide. Think on it well. This past time reported our mission success to the guild ship. Would have done so sooner, except Her Highness needed to have her royal meal. She'll come to the annex later. Till then. This should be the last one, then the Coming Dawn. Just so we have a fair grasp of both the month situation. Still, even for time to consider invitation, why not use it to learn more about Tural? Numenon is bound to have some information on the continent. Right, not only would it help you make an informed decision, but if you wish to go, be prepared then for what awaits. Come, my friend, let's be off to the archives. Skeletor stream slapstick comedy, exactly. I mean, in like 3 quests, it's setting it up fairly well. This might actually be the jarring quote-unquote beach episode in the grand scheme of things. But we could actually see this, us return to say the 13th. This could be just a brief intermission, so to speak. Character take on this, like, is doing the favor, or is, so, like, we're effectively here because of convenience. Like, this is just to throw us into the next expansion, throw us into the next story, next grand adventure. We came down from a couple, actually, world-ending cataclysmic events in Endwalker, which was this expansion, and this is going us into the next one, which is more, like, what, South American-themed. It's got, what we're looking at is kind of like the beach episode, and dear God, after all that we've been through, what could possibly topple what we've been through in the new world? So, I mean, our investment in this, we're just kind of there. Someone says, hey, I need help. We just kind of, it's classic adventurer trope. Baldur's Gate is this. This is Baldur's Gate 2.5. It's after Shadows of Om, after Throne of Ball, but before 3. Someone's like, wait, Kip knows the old Baldur's Gate games? Yeah, my dad loved them. Never played through the older ones fully, but I want to go back at some point on stream and do it. Through practices of the Wookiee tribe. Oh yeah, so the Blue Mages come from there too. Nature of these highest and seemingly cultivated spiritual connection with it, they learn to harness the power of the wildlife around them. Teaching the common tongue was permitted to live among them in other ways. These are the most grueling I remember. They were tremendously rewarding. For instance, I had the privilege of visiting Lapis Canyon, the tribe's sacred grounds. It's the name of the cerulean deposit that wells up to the surface, turning the entire canyon a brilliant blue under a shaman's watchful eye. I mentioned Master of the Wookiees art made to make the animal's powers my own. No name existed for it in the common tongue. It took naming it. Is this the Blue Mage teacher doing this? His knight chose this color would be doubtless clean. Is significant holes at the wall. I cannot think of a name more fitting in the honor People from this little magic was born. Astarion hasn't shown up yet. No, Astarion isn't till 3, right? I don't actually... I literally had someone like, hey, let's go through Baldur's Gate 3, and they didn't actually go, like, yeah, now we're not playing this. I'm like, fuck, dude. So I gotta go through Baldur's Gate 3 at some point. I tried on stream once, and I got stuck at a certain point with crappy sorcerer build. For one who's never played Final Fantasies... That's a tricky one. So, there's no shortage of content, let's put it that way. The first thing you're going to have to look at is that there is a sub fee for this game. There is a... Is it $14.99? I can't remember. There's a sub fee for this game, though. That's the first one that throws people off and is going to be the deal breaker. Second, if you're on Xbox, you also pay Xbox Live, but Xbox is kind of a newer thing, and those go... There's two sub fees on Xbox, effectively. If you have time to put into this game, it will respect your time. But just finishing Endwalker 6.0, let's put it this way. ARR, Realm Reborn, the base game's post-game, the finale of that, to Endwalker 6.0, this not post-game here, was 82 VOD episodes, some 3 to 5 hours in length. And that's me blitzing this game. I feel it can respect your game more than like say World of Warcraft, but there is a lot of reading, especially in a Realm Reborn like this, gleaning bits of it. Like it's a very dated MMO, and it starts to evolve as it goes on. I personally would say if you're wanting a more condensed Final Fantasy experience, and this is gonna be a hot take, Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. We have Crisis Core Reunion, right? The kind of remaster kind of thing that's on Steam or Steam, Xbox, PS5, right? Play that. And that kind of seeps you into some Final Fantasy isms. Final Fantasy Crisis Core is it's a story about legacy. It's a story about honor. It's a story about monsters, the definition thereof. And it's a very compact experience, which you could probably finish in 20 hours easily. 100%ing it's a different issue entirely. But if you're achievement hunting, if you're trying to 100%, trying to get the Genji armor right, that's not really gonna go. I mean, so let's put it this way. My experience with Final Fantasy has been 7. PS1 7 years ago, Crisis Core, and now 14. If you want to start off on Final Fantasy, and you're kind of wanting to dip your toes in the water, I would honestly say look at 7 or look at 7 Crisis Core. I would not say new 7. You can, I can't attest to 7 personally. I hear it's good, but I can't attest to the remake. Base 7 or Crisis Core, I think are perfect starting points to kind of see what heavy stuff they throw at you, what your thoughts are, how it shows whether it's a thought-provoking series with a lot of heavy topics, right? Is how I would word that. The Xbox EA drama, I have not, no. Completing geological characteristics of these 3 continents in Tural, stretches east to west, lies entirely within the northern hemisphere, in contrast to the land since far reaches the north. Southern hemispheres. Its immediate presents itself in the form of climate variance. Shifts in climate tend to be gentle when moving east and west, but sure with movements north and south. Only the fact longitudinal migration is far more common in history, where we might man animals or plants. Case geopolitics of Heidelin. Oh, that's cool. Case point is the Allagons, who rose to power in the Aldenard before advancing into the Ilsabard. Movement would have been mirrored thousands of years later by the Garleans. Meanwhile, although they dispersed tribes of Turo waged war, and only another few generations, stymied by the climate, none could make great headway north or south. Tribes hailing from the frozen lands, withered beneath the desert sun, while those that thrive in open plains could not pierce dense jungle. This is the way of it until the leader of the Mamulja successfully bringing the continent under one banner. Given the land's divine history and reason thereof, you cannot help but be in awe of the feat. Truly, it is a testament to the Autarch's greatness. For the sponsors are the nicest video world. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I try. Don't get me wrong. I have my moments. I have my moments where I get a little spicy when I'm 4 hours into a Ron teaching raid, Fruit of Nightmare's Destiny raid, right? But I try. I try to be as courteous as I can. I give the rest of the unique wildlife. The continent of Tural is no exception. Yet with some creatures have become familiar sight in areas resist in the rarely seen outside of the Indigo Deep. Tom introduces a variety of species described in the testimony of sailors and adventurers. Alpaca, accustomed to Tural's craggy mountain ranges, four-legged beastkin has been domesticated hundreds if not thousands of years. Soft white fleeces, highly prized by weavers, while their strong legs and sure footers make them capable of beasts of burden. However, these ferocious Kalekin is native to the dense parts of the Tural. Will just succeed in taming them, utilize their Critical strength for manual labor. Given their immense size and power, it should come as no surprise that the Weaver is also employed as a siege beast. Machines cannot long withstand this Hornbird's rampage. That might be a cool, like, Destiny or something. Yeah, no, have a good one. It was good to see you. Get some rest, okay? Is that a Manaphy? Like the Pokemon Manaphy? No, that's Poo Poo Piu Piu, the alien from Final Fantasy 9, I think. It's a no, it's 8. Sorry, it's a reference to an older Final Fantasy game. Folklore holds that the bird-like creatures are the mightiest of the beasts. They're talking about nature's power. Whether it exists beyond myth, however, is uncertain. Okay, interesting. Yeah, see, he's just a cool little alien dude. He's got a little squirrely eye, a little like swirly eyes. Dude's just super cool. He squeaks when he walks. Possibly antiquated history discuss areas in Cuisine, speaking of the land which many of modern-day staples hail from far western continent of Tyrol. Ogre pumpkins, ruby tomatoes, even the ubiquitous potato. These crops and whether regularly in Asian dining tables trace their origins to the New World, as places found most. Early culinary migration begins in the year 1490 of the 6th Astral Era, where a Luminson sailor named Cantarum successfully traversed the Indigo Deep to arrive at the theretofore unknown continent. He spent several moons exploring inland, and of course, when he encountered dozens of sprawling nations of Malta, he gained an audience with their supreme leader, whose confidence he won along with permission to roam freely. Cantarum would return to Tyrol several times during his first expedition. He charted the land and gathered myriad of root vegetables and seeds to bring back to Limsa Limensa. One of these was being the Pupto, whose ease of cultivation is from the Sockle spread all over the corners of Eorzea. Starts from the only bounty of Cantarum's expedition to Tyrol, many tantalizing recipes such as the bean-filled burrito and griffin lettuces that of the Golden City reached their shores by way of a ship. Those outside of Cantarum's circle, Tyrol largely remain shrouded in mystery, yet influences our cuisine cannot be overstated. Many scholars will have glued were lost the chance to immerse themselves in the culinary culture of that faraway continent. As a good books on Tyrol, you seem so informed on you about your potential destination. Grahati will be eager to hear what you have discovered. Wish for these books can see the reference page. Doing tonight? We're doing pretty well. We're trucking along with 6.55. Library satisfaction to have you excellent. While there are a few books whose wholly indicated subject of the Tyrol, I dare say you found tidbits of useful information scattered here and there. Now come, let us come outside. Do this outside the mammoths. Do not take kindly to chatter. And service them. Oh. It's snow. Now then, I must keep your honest impressions. Could not help but notice that we're the very same book on the cuisine. I was trying to find references to the raw within. Anything particularly pique your interest? The burrito. As if I, despite us having enjoying a hearty meal, I found myself craving potatoes. As they keep well their boon to sailors, even the same property that allowed them to survive the voyage to Eorzea. The book also mentioned a method of preservation which sees puptos repeatedly frozen and dried. Result product currently used in a stew by people of the mountainous regions. Sample the dish one day, that in all cuisines created by this vast continent. Wait, what's Red? That's cool. Moving on, did you see you perchance learn onto the fauna of Tyrol, given your adventuring background, expect topic would interest you? In the latter half of Vietnam. Oh, it's super cool. No, well, I don't. Wait, what do you get the impression you're imagining pitting your skills against the fell beast? Fortunately, I find scant details on would-be prey. One source simply stated there's an enormous winged creature with scales, hard as steel, that rules the skies. I would like to see it with my own eyes, presumably. It could be a dragon, actually. Right, her axe looks like a dragon. I thought I heard familiar voices. Hi, also. I'm Totgum was formed. Oh no. It's running you two here. Have some research of your own, do you? We hope to arm ourselves with the knowledge that may benefit the Garlean people. Having forged a new trade agreement with Radz-at-Han, they will next look to their frost relations with other nations. It includes former imperial provinces. In view of this, we hope to find hints of history on how neighbors of differing races and ideologies may engage with one another. What about you? What endeavor brings you here this day? Oh, you know, New World stuff. It's still awesome. It's really cool, even being tangentially related, right? Doesn't diminish it. Most of disparate peoples of Tyrol. Never say this is the kind of example we seek. We do well to read up on it ourselves. To be honest, this is the only one allowed to help Wiclamont. No mention of such restrictions as I recall. On the contrary, Wiclamont gave us the impression that you could have several champions. You know how to make the most of our respect. Follow me off what we're planning to do. That's the one. The biggest I'm assuming Poo-Poo is actually the biggest, at least the tallest minion. I want minions going forward to have that kind of size. Tons of change, excuse me. I would love minions to be a lot bigger, actually. I think it'd be cool. It'd be super cool. Rest on their laurels. Come, let's try to the annex. That's it. Oh, you found the biggest minion. Is it the Alexander one? The Alexander. It's the stupid house one, right? Isn't that one the biggest, I think, technically? You're in the annex with it? Okay, I'll go to the annex. Because Rev and I were literally talking about this. I'm pretty sure that's one of the contenders. Okay, he is thicker. He is larger, but Poo-Poo is in fact taller. Wild. Look at how large Fat Chocobo was. It's not rain this time, but it's snow. In fact, the thickest of birds. Chocobo, Fat Chocobo EX.
Despite all that we've learned, I can't help but feel we've yet to hear the whole story.
Yeah. Reasonable.
What about you, my friend? Are you inclined to accept or refuse Wiclamat's request?
You can, so at that point you could accept on the terms that were stated, and if it happens to be a different situation, then you can renegotiate the terms.
I don't blame you. No matter the assurances, it's no simple thing to wade into the midst of a political struggle, and in a foreign land at that. How about this then? Instead of deciding here, go there first and then decide.
Also relevant in terms of a decision.
In the course of seeing new lands and meeting new people, you'll surely find a way forward. That's what adventurers do, is it not?
It bounces, I love it. Baby hatchling, literally OP.
Such a journey would be the envy of many a scholar. Distant as it is, Tyrol remains largely unknown to us, with only meager records to be found in Numenor. The experiences to be had, all the things you might hear,
feel, and think.
And think. It's enough to stir me to the core.
That's a very interesting word choice there.
Life is a series of journeys, my friend, and there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another. Ah, but there's an idea. I have a matter to attend to at the Agora. Please, go on inside. I will join you shortly.
Hi, Thancred. Thancred's gonna stow away. Watch this. Interesting. Smaller fell with punk hair. Nut. Okay. I guess the map is surrounded in clouds, that way it can be filled in potentially later with other expansions. I guess that would make sense.
You have the look of someone who's made up their mind. Go on then. Let's hear it.
Where I've never gone before, that's the one. There's the track.
You need me as much as I need you. Together we'll blaze new trails in Tural.
You're not planning to leave without us, are you?
My God, the triple squad.
No, Alice! What are you two doing here?
And that's just, what are you doing here? This is a top secret mission.
We happened to cross paths at Numenon earlier, you see, and I told them about Wooklamat. And when we fortuitously met again at the Agora just now, they expressed an interest in meeting our visitor.
Ah, you must be the twins who are sneaking after Erenville as toads.
That's the one.
100 things about us you could have told her, and you chose that.
First impressions last.
First impressions do last, yeah. So many nut.
'Tis an honor and a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Your Highness. Alphino Leveilleur at your service, and this is my sister Alize.
Oh no, let's not do that. I really can't stand it. So, you want to participate in the contest too, is that right?
Indeed we do. We've been assisting with the rebuilding effort in Garlemald. Yet while progress is being made, the question remains of how the nation might reconcile with its neighbors. We believe there is much we might learn from Tuliolal, a nation founded on unity. And in return for this honor, we would spare no effort in supporting your claim.
The more the merrier, I say. And I'd be keen to learn about Eorzea and Garlemald from you as well.
Having recruited so many committed and capable allies, I presume you have no need for my continued assistance?
You wish.
Nonsense. Like I told you before, you're indispensable.
You find things.
They're strong, aye, but strangers to our land. They need someone to guide them, to point out the dangers and spare them grisly deaths. I can't think of anyone better suited to that task than you. What's more, despite your assertions, I know you haven't given up on the City of Gold.
As I recall, Kryl, you were the first to state your desire to visit Tural.
Perhaps I was. Still, I can't help but worry about being away just when our order is beginning to find its feet again.
That's the workaholic mindset. There it is.
You have nothing
I feel that. I've done that.
I haven't forgotten how you held the fort while I set off to explore Alzadal's legacy. It's only fair that I return the favor. Pray, leave the students to Ojika and me.
But, Raha...
Raha, you'll mess up my organization. Was that a failed
You
wink?
want to retrace your grandfather's steps, don't you? This is a rare opportunity, and I insist that you seize it.
There it is. We're leaving Raha behind, clearly.
Thank you, Raha. Thank you.
Well, looks like it's settled. I'm counting on you all to help me win the throne.
I suppose now is a good time to show you what I spent a small fortune on at the Agora.
Oh, Raha, please, not the coffers. So many roulettes to repay that.
There.
Uh-huh.
This, my friends, is the latest map of the world, created to celebrate our friendship with the Loperids. Cast your eyes west of Sharlayan, for there it lies. The site of your next great adventure.
Is it really to the west? I thought it was gonna be like southeast of the map. Huh. Footfalls again. I don't... This, I think, is more fitting. I think this is more fitting than the end of 6.5, though. I think this is appropriate for Footfalls. Because it's the capstone on all of Endwalker. Well, that's technically 6.58, right? That's technically Hildebrand. But we're not counting that. Like, MSQ-wise, this is the capstone. I think this is more appropriate. Southeast is Mara City. Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay. That is a lot to go through. So, for context, this is May 11th, 2024. That is when I finished this. I finished this weeks away from Endwalker. I blitzed Shadowbringers and Endwalker, and it took me a while to get up just the effort to finish this. I did like post patches. I do agree with chat. I do like that how Garlemald was handled. It could have been handled incredibly poorly, especially when you have, you know, the Senate dudes, right? That could have been handled a lot worse, but Garlemald was handled very reasonable. Garlemald was handled very well. I think that Endwalker just covers so goddamn much. And I think the patches kind of mirror that as well. The patches cover so much area that, I mean, it was good. I think the Endwalker base is probably my favorite patch. Post probably might go to... I don't know. That's a toss-up between Stormblood or Shadowbringers for me. I just didn't really resonate. I don't have that experience with Final Fantasy Sassy Graha. I don't have that experience with Final Fantasy IV. I don't. And I think that the whole Void Scent thing, I thought it set up the 13th really good. I thought it set up really, really cool. It didn't land for me. I felt that it was a lot of Sassy Stola. I actually love this concept art. I thought that it really just set up so much. And it just floundered on that delivery. But, and I don't even think that's necessarily, because I'm, you know, like looking at, okay, this is 3 months between, you know, hey, we have you know, Golbez and what's his face down there, Fragment of Zodiark, and they're just sealed, so the seal's been there 3 months. Like, I can envision that. Like, that's fine. My issue was more, I just feel like it floundered on the execution, and it was more a love letter to Final Fantasy IV fans than it was a story about 14 that borrows things from other games. And I think that crisis of identity, if you will, I think that was the biggest thing for me. I mean, can I recommend 14? Take your time with it, man. Like, I blitzed the hell out of Endwalker. I mean, I was streaming 50 hours a week for like 2 weeks straight. Easy. On top of React content. Do I regret it? Not really. No. And I honestly think, you know, Xenos is one of my favorite characters ever presented in a video game. I love it. I love that he just presents that innate desire for a fight, for a competition, and goes from this just asshole into someone who, yes, I finally have acceptance, and helps with the final fight. It's great. The whole Asian thing, how that gets into, you know, the unsundered world, Venat, right? Gets into Heidelin and sundering, why she sundered the world, and how Heidelin, she did it because she remembers Medion and the end. I thought that was fine. Endwalker kind of floundered a little bit, I think, at the end of towards Act 2, beginning of Act 3, kind of. Speaking of Xenos, love that, man. Like, I think that it really came out swinging towards the end. And it's not fair to expect Post to come out swinging in the same capacities. It's really not. That's not fair. I did like that we got to see what happened to Xenos' avatar. We got to see what happened with Zero. So that was cool. I think that it was a little bit of a misstep, though, from Reaper, because that's what I'm saying about, like, it feels like a different character, right? You have Zero, who's a Reaper, right? Who is the prior avatar forced into servitude by Xenos. And now it's going to be the whole, what is it, Cecil, right? Cecil? The whole Cecil parallel at the end of it. And it felt like it went from 14 and like hard right turn 90 degrees into 4. That's what kind of really bothered me. I can't wait to see what happens with Golbez. I can't wait to see what happens with Zero. And I think that Dawn Trail, rather than be, hey, we're going to the 13th, right? At least in base, right? Hey, we're going to the 13th. Well, you know, they got to set shit up over there, right? They got to work to rebuild their world. And I'm pretty sure we'll be back, right? We also haven't dealt with a number of the other reflections. So, Endwalker covers a lot, and it does tie up a damn good portion of these plot points. Like, it's going to be interesting if we get back. Garlemald, I think that's going to come into the fray a lot more in Dawn Trail. I think that'll be interesting. Wouldn't surprise me if we're back to Can't Broken Glass and stuff at some point, even during the MSQ. TP costs, make sure you got TP cost reductions for your FC. Like, there's so goddamn much this covered. There's so much to talk about right here. It was a good, like, I liked it. I liked Endwalker. I think Endwalker was worth my time. And, you know, I got to play Paladin effectively through the entire thing. I played Reaper at the beginning, but I got to play Paladin, especially in post. I got to blind tank some of the raids. I got to blind tank the Alliance raids. And I mean, going into Endwalker, I'm gonna be rocking Paladin, honestly. I might swap to Warrior at some point. I don't know. Like, the whole Radz-at-Han Final Days thing, that was a really cool thing. Seeing Zodiark at 83 was definitely a subversion of expectation I didn't even expect to see. I think that was one of those that, like, holy crap, like, that is a bold move. 14, about time we can finally play something else. I mean, that's my goal. I rushed rushed is a subjective word. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. I needed to finish this because this has been a year of just going through MSQ. I mean, maybe at some point after Dawn Trail, maybe I'll like do New Game Plus on A Realm Reborn to kind of get my thoughts on that. Because unfortunately, those early Realm Reborn VODs don't exist because I wasn't planning on streaming it until, hey, maybe I should just stream this. Like, hot damn. There is a story here. And if you're someone like me that likes Destiny raid mechanics, you're someone that likes mechanics in PvE, there is a raiding scene for you. Like, P12 is one of my favorite raids. P11 is, Pandemonium 11, Elidibus is so fucking good. Like, holy shit, that is a good fight. The sound design is amazing. The mechanics make sense. It's very snappy. It flows together very well. And there are raids like Tree in the same series, right? I think it's P6, right? Pandemonium, it just that I feel, in my opinion, just kind of flounder, especially if you have a team that just starts eating those Vuln stacks so early. New Vegas, I mean, yeah, no, I mean, New Vegas wise, for reference, when this goes live, I have finished Dead Money. What have I finished? Dead Money and Old World Blues. And so I have to go, I'm going back to the actual Return to the Sierra Madre. We killed a bunch of Death Claws. So that'll be some more shenanigans in the Mojave until I decide to do the Hoover Dam and decide to actually do Honest Hearts. But that'll be live most likely by the point that this actually comes out, because this is going to come out towards the end of 2024, honestly. Like, there's so goddamn much. Thoughts of the Endwalker Alliance raid? I personally loved it. I thought it was great. I thought the concept of just like sexy wind waifu, 14 please. I thought that the whole concept of like, yeah, no, the divines were just Heidelin's other people, right? The convocations. I already did Honest Hearts. Sorry, I did Honest Hearts too. Yeah, I already did Joshua Graham. It's Lonesome Road that I haven't done yet, but that's 40. So I'm saving that a little bit. I like them. I like the Alliance raid. I think that the Alliance raids are intuitive. I think that they're cool. I think that they definitely push a party. I think that they're a lot more streamlined than Nier. I think Nier is needlessly tanky, but that's also Yoko Taro's design as far as I'm aware. And in that case, from that context, I can see that. That's fine. But looking at it like, I think the Endwalker was fine. I think that if you are, your average player is going to struggle. But that being said, right? I mean, you can't go through everything expecting it to be a flat-out W, right? I go to these solo instances, like the Zero solo instance, right? And I'm expecting, you know, just to, speaking of Zero, right? Just go in and expect the win on a solo instance. But no, like, making them more challenging and stuff was really cool. And you have to, like, actually play the game, like Venat, right? Venat from Act 2 of Endwalker, when you go back to Elpis. Like, hot damn, that solo trial is so hard. Oh my god. Not a jump scare, right? No, I love the Alliance raids. I think the Alliance raids are great. If you want to do Alliance raids, I absolutely recommend the Endwalker Alliance raids. Like, 100%. Stormblood's one of those that I'm kind of mixed on. Like, it's... like, Thunder God is needlessly tanky for his level, if that makes sense. There's the whole thing with the boss with, like, uber amounts of health, and then you crack his core, and then you do just fuck tons of amounts of damage, right? Like, that one... I can't remember his name, but it's an homage to the boss with the most health in the Final Fantasy franchise. But to break the core and just do a fuck ton of damage, right, I think was a little much. I don't know. I think that they're too tanky for their level, personally. And then going to Nier, we had that tankiness. I think Endwalker's Alliance raids felt right. I think that they felt, from a mechanical standpoint, they felt right. Also, having dialogue with your chosen patron, right? That's super cool. Just being able to have that as an option. I didn't take it personally because I was going for the clear. But no, there's a lot of lore stuff in that too, none of which I can really discuss in mixed company, right? There is a lot of... oh, I guess I already mentioned some of it. No, there's a lot of lore. There's a reason I haven't heard about the Endwalker Alliance raids. There's a reason we don't talk about them. Because goddamn, there's a lot of lore in that. But I hope Dawn Trail... I hope that it isn't a love letter to 9, and I hope that it takes inspiration from 9. And yeah, it can have some love letter aspects of it, right? But it stands on its own. It stands on its own 2 feet. It's not, hey, Zero now becomes Cecil parallel. It feels like a completely different character. I think the Archfiends were cool. I think that was a cool thing to bring in there. I think it was interesting as someone who hasn't played older Final Fantasy aside from 7 and Crisis Core, right? So it was an interesting expansion. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings on it, but honestly, I enjoyed my time in it. After that finale, though, you need to take a rest. After that 6.0 Xenos finale, you have to take a rest. Like, it is rough to keep going on, especially when you have access to them all in quick succession. This was me just pushing for the finish line. So, those are kind of my thoughts on that. That's where I kind of lie in regards to Endwalker and Final Fantasy XIV. And, you know, I'm currently looking forward to Dawn Trail, because that's gonna have a lot of cool stuff that comes along with it. Passes Terrell, Armor will wrench his ship through his guild. You don't need to worry about your own preparations. Wish, please take this with you, rugged and ready to knapsack. Be it sure you all when you're coming adventures. No, I'm not sure what the pressure will be, but rest assured I'll let you know when I hear something. Till then, please take your ease. Oh, Okay. It's hammer space justification. Okay, that's clever though. I love that. For new adventures. I can't wait for Dawn Trail personally, but I also can't wait to get down to some other projects. Like I have Ocarina of Time at this point that's been left on standby. Resident Evil 4 randomizer that has been beating my ass. Oh my god, RE4 randomizer has hands. Woof. Oh, hi, Stidian.
When does the next ship set sail?
May I ask your destination?
The north and east, I've already seen. I suppose I'll head west this time.
West, you say?
He says west. Stinny, you can't just ask that dude. It's his job to like actually be like super legit. You can't just ask. Stinny, and you're making my customer service sensors just like, oh, go off. Oh man. I can't wait to see where this is gonna go. Like this set up a lot in a sub patch in 5.5. Like wow. Note paper, if you will. I thank Red.
I see you've made up your mind. I had a feeling you'd be keen.
But to think that our comrades too are thither bound. Fate doth work in mysterious ways.
Oh, they're doing some sneaky stuff over there. I love it.
Indeed. It will be a grueling task, having to contend with them.
Battle Royale?
If the prospect doth trouble thee, 'tis not too late to decline the petition.
So were they petitioned by the other
Thine
party?
Expression would suggest thou art far from perturbed.
Oh no, that was a sentence. I love that.
Oh,
Yeah,
how could
Gunbreaker's
I
a
possibly
class.
be, knowing what's to come.
I actually prefer Paladin over Gunbreaker, but Gunbreaker's nutty. I've seen some really good stuff with
Then let us
Gunbreaker
delay
done.
no further and secure passage on a vessel.
Aye. This will be a mission to remember.
Got him. I do love the tank and healer combo.
Come, my friend.
Gunbreaker,
We make
Astra.
for Taral.
We get any New World snapshots, snippets, anything about this? Not bad for like an hour and a half segment, right? Hour and a half post patch. Boat. It's funny.
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty?
Isn't that where we just went for the patch, though?
Or the treasure islands beyond the frozen waters of Blind Frost in Offerd's north?
We haven't done there. No.
The fabled golden cities of the New World.
That's the one. I do miss him. I do miss him at Silk. Way anchor now, tide is high at dawn of a new adventure nigh. That rhymes. Row forth to break horizons bond and tread the gilded path beyond. Alright. Next patch. Sierra Madre. That's the one. That is the end of 6.55, and I will see you all in Dawn Trail.